All right, this is what? Oh, okay. Let's do the countdown. All right, ready? All right. Three, two, one, 5, 4. This is what's really happening. I'm here with Mokai from Mokai Music. That's from Mokai Music. How? Oh, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Luke. Thanks for having me.
So, see how you feeling there.
Oh, okay. We got a feeling chart. uh, um, uh,
Yeah, it was always tough for me
yeah, I'm
too.
I'm I'm feeling pretty cheerful. I'm gonna say cheerful,
It was always
just
difficult for
because.
me too. You have that problem where you just you,
Well,
you
luckily I'm not. They had violent on there. I don't know if they have crazed. I'm not feeling either of those, so that's good.
you ever have that issue? Because I used to do this every week, and then I stopped going to my men's group, and then so now I'm like, let me bring this and ask people how they're
What
feeling.
men's group were you going to?
It was a like a men's for my church
Oh,
I
okay.
was going to
Yeah.
a men's group. I was always I felt out of place, but it was good to have that like men
Mm-hmm.
gathering.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did feel out of place because I felt like in a way not the God part. It was the way that man these people all have great jobs. It seemed like and they're all complaining about their jobs, and I'm just there like wait till we get to my job. And then the situation like the marriage issues. I'm just like can't relate there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I've actually done some men's work, men's circle work also, so I can relate to what you're saying. And
like what?
definitely in the Bay Area, there's a lot of guys who like might have tech jobs or that kind
Yeah,
of thing, and they're kind of look all set up, but then they've got issues they want to talk about. And then I'm maybe as an artist, living low rent and just trying to keep it afloat financially. But everybody's got their ups and downs and their problems and their
yeah. So it is kind of weird. I've noticed everyone different situations, different problems. Like you could think, oh, yeah, you think you got problems, but different lifestyles. Like certain people can't handle certain things like
mhm.
others can, and then the other person, different situation too, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Well, right now it seems like everybody's struggling a bit, or having to adjust and maneuver to keep it going.
Is that a beautiful thing in a way? I mean, it sucks to see a lot of people struggling, but like we said, everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was like during the pandemic. A lot of people who had been feeling isolated, all of a sudden everyone was isolated.
Yeah.
You know.
So,
Or
well,
somebody who's questioning, like, well, what does the future hold? And all of a sudden now everybody's questioning, well, you know,
yeah, yeah. So we're all everyone in a way is either in the same boat or on the verge.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it kind of creates a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
get everyone's just kind of the same in a way now.
yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Although well, it seems like pandemic did bring up a lot of chaos in a way, right? It did. Do you think a lot more issues were brought up during the pandemic?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it kind of stripped away the whole thing of like, some people are very comfortable, or some people are not questioning or not struggling, and it kind of stripped away some of that comfort and just kind of status quo that people were in, and now it's a different, definitely a different world, I think.
Like, well, like people like the vaccine wise, that
Hmm.
I know there was a lot of hate for that, but it's like, I mean, I don't know. However you feel about it, I mean, really horse tranquilizer. I mean that kind of threw me off.
Yeah, I think one of the things that threw me off was seeing so many people who don't have a deep understanding, even people who are like, should be old enough to know, boomers and such, who
Mm.
should be old enough to know. And then they suddenly found out about a lot of stuff, and they're like, oh, we're waking up. Well, no,
Got
I've
the
known
Google.
about that stuff. I've known about the issues about around vaccines since the 80s. There's been controversies and there's been work done to address that. There's even been, regulations and stuff that have
Yeah.
come in internationally or around that stuff. So it's not like it was just a new issue that suddenly appeared that vaccines might be controversial, but some people just suddenly it was like, oh my god, and then they just went overboard with it.
I guess because it felt forced.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people, it was all of a sudden this uncertainty, and you're hearing all these different things, and you're like, well, what to believe? And so then you're going out, and you're trying to figure it out, and if you don't have like a deeper understanding going back throughout the time of your life, if you suddenly find out about something, like as if you suddenly found out somebody says, "Oh, maybe the CIA killed JFK." It's the first time you ever heard it. You're like running out the door. Don't you know? Do you know that the CIA might have killed JFK? And
There's
other
a lot of
people are like,
conspiracies
"Well, there's been
going on.
theories
Yeah.
about that going for 50 years." So
Like,
I don't know. You just found that out today?
yeah. Well, conspiracy wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. People really digged into the past during the pandemic. It's like, don't want to hear the stuff about Elvis or John Wayne. Come on, let's keep it positive, right? What the?
Right. Well, I mean, it was a chance. The pandemic was a chance for everybody to come together and make the same choices and unify, and that's not what happened. So what we ended up was
It's
more divided,
extremism.
which means if another worse pandemic comes, we're like, who knows how it's going to go, you know?
Something's gonna happen, all
Yeah.
right. Something's gonna happen next. We're going for a civil war.
Oh man, you know,
Ah,
anybody who's talking about killing fellow Americans, I gotta assume they're just such a fringe, and they're not gonna get any.
Yeah, because that would be an
like that.
insider thing. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
But it's like the Ukraine war, all of a sudden, people who don't even know where Ukraine is on the map or don't know anything about the history of Europe or the history of World War II or the history of the Soviet Union and Russia, then they're trying to catch up and they grab this fact and that fact and they get, this disinformation or misinformation, and then they form a whole philosophy of life out of just putting things together on their own.
Yeah,
That's a pretty difficult route to go.
I think it's there's a lot of what's that word, cockamamie or
I had this
poppycock
song I
sort
wrote, it's
of
called
stuff.
Wackadoodle.
Did, I did, yeah, I think I heard that. Yeah, that was a new word, but I didn't want to use it because you branded it so well.
Yeah, it's kind of
Or
like everything's gone wackadoodle.
I guess if I use it and people ask me where I got it from, I guess it'd be a way of promoting. But yeah, it's a lot of I mean, I we come to the point where people are like, okay, next year we would like The Rock for president. We come to that point. Hey,
Hey, they elected Schwarzenegger governor of California. You know.
yeah. I remember that. I don't know. I don't know about all the when it comes to governors and stuff. Who really votes these people in?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's the mysterious one. I know about the presidency versus like whatever conspiracies come out of that.
Hmm.
I mean, okay, well, why isn't there any middle ground? Because what do you think? You think it was like there was any kind of what was it fraud at the ballots or whatever?
Well, this is again, we're going back to stuff that people suddenly became interested in electronic voting machines.
Yeah,
We were talking about electronic voting machines 30 years ago. And in California, we did a lot of work to create a paper trail. So if you vote in California, uh, there's a way to verify your vote and that you were the person that voted and what your vote, whether you voted yes or no, and there's nobody else can vote as you. And other states might not be as far advanced as advanced as that. And some of the states that didn't get a paper trail or didn't get the redundancy on the electronic voting were the red states that they were like, oh no, it's all, those machines are perfect. Why would you even question? 30 years ago, they were about like, oh no, you can't
because I hear you get
question
a receipt.
those votes. And now they're all like, oh, we don't know what's happening with the electronic voting machines because we just started thinking about it yesterday.
I'm
you
up
know?
for hearing everybody out. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. The systems are, yeah. It, well, they say California. Well, California's always blue, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I
but,
mean,
but
Schwarzenegger was a Republican, so no, and then there was another
made that happen.
Republican
Yeah.
governor before Schwarzenegger. Not what was his name? Jeez. um, but so we've
I
crossed over that line.
I
But
do.
currently, what they've done is the political parties, they're like, okay, we get these states, you get that states, and we're not going to fight
I
over it.
love hearing everyone out, but then when because I'm like, well, I mean, because I don't believe that any politician is that honest. Politics is that honest. But then when I hear, because I watched the fraud ballot movie, and I was like, yeah, okay, these people are voting at 2 in the morning. I mean, I don't know their schedule. Maybe they just got off work. That doesn't mean any suspicion there, really. They just did the voting late at the ballot box,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, and they
Mm-hmm.
said the person walked back and forth. I mean,
Well, I've
that
done the
does sound
thing like, for
suspicious.
example, when there's election, walking the precincts. So you have your information from your campaign, and you go door to door around the time of the election. You say, hey, have you voted yet?
Hmm.
Can we count on your vote, etc. And then when you if someone is elderly, for example, and they say, "Well, I've got my absentee ballot here, but it's the polls are closing in a few hours. I'm not going to make it. Oh well, I guess I blew it this year." And you say, "No, actually, I'm a campaign worker. I can pick up your ballot, and
Yeah.
I can take it and I can drop it." And
Oh,
that's just called
yeah.
collecting the ballots. Now, they spin it as harvesting ballots. Like they
Yeah, the
choose a word
harvesting.
that
Yeah.
makes it look scary. These people are harvesting ballot. No, I'm just picking up a ballot and I'm taking it back to the campaign headquarters. And at the campaign headquarters, they assemble them all. And then one of the campaign workers at the end of the day, because they've been working all day on the campaign before the polls close, let's say it was the day before the polls closed at 2 a.m., maybe some campaign worker is going to drop off 30 ballots that were collected into the campaign office that day. This has been going on forever. This is not something new. This is like, the kind of thing that is legal, and it's been approved, and they're trying to make it look like it's something controversial. And then they put out that movie, 200 Mules or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. That's what I was talking
So
about. Yeah.
they just fabricate a whole story out of, you
Everyone's an
know,
expert now.
out
I
of
guess.
these surveillance videos that they saw,
And
and
I
and
watched it
people
because
believe this stuff.
yeah, I guess I'm more conservative, but my thing is like I hear everything out, and if I'm not feeling, I have a mind, And I was watching, I was like, you guys are all cheering, but I'm not sure this is a fact here.
Right, right. Well, I mean, that's a really difficult one. It's like,
Yeah,
how do you as a person watching the news know what to believe? And the only way to do it is what I've done personally. How I do it is I follow specific journalists, but I follow them based on their credentials.
yeah,
Where have they been published? Where have they worked? And how long have they been publishing? What books have they been publishing? What have they said in those books that they published 10 years ago? How much of that turned out to be true or not? And so you just kind of develop that relationship with certain journalists that you trust. And people do that, and you could still make the mistake of following someone and believing in them, but they're actually making a mistake.
At
Like
least they got facts. Yeah,
yeah.
They could,
And so there's any journalist can like go off the deep end at any point. So
hey, yeah. Speaking of journalists coming off the deep end, we got Joe Conti in the studio. Well, I mean, that was just a good segue.
hey Joe, how you doing? I'm
AKA
Mokai.
Mokai, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
AKA the Joe Nitro. He's ambassador of liquid nitro things
Oh.
right there.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
So we got. Well,
I got enough
wanna-
for everybody today.
want to
Oh, cool.
want to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
introduce the drinks here.
Sure, I'll try it.
Well, you know what? So thanks for having me on. And this is the original. So this is the original.
That's the original right there.
Yeah. So the thing that separates us from the rest of the competition is pretty much the ingredients. You know, we wanted to get into the market years back to be a little different than Red Bull, Rockstar, Monster. Now, you know, you get so many products coming in like every week. You know, somebody's launching something. You know, Jerry Rice is at all the grocery stores right now doing
Yeah,
his
he
go.
came to my store.
And then we
Yeah.
got Deion Sanders, who actually launched with us. Deion was with us in the beginning, and now he's got Prime. And so, but we wanted something that was going to really taste good, but just with a healthier alternative, some better options. So
Yeah.
we put yerba mate as far as an
I like
ingredient
that.
that's from the rainforest. It's a really high energy, you know, content. We got all the B vitamins in there. Yeah, so we got, you know, to keep it simple, no aftertaste, no crash, no jitters, real nice finish. This is kind of comparable to a Red Bull, like that berry flavor. Believe it or not, #1 energy drink in Jamaica.
I could see the
Believe it-
colors.
Believe it or not, in Jamaica, small island, they just really adapted to the brand. They do a lot of great parties. They,
It's because the color. Well, I mean, it tastes good, but why Jamaica?
Well, you know what? We had a guy who was just an absolute gorilla, right? So the guy came in, he knew how to market. You know, he's like, let me get a couple Hummers. I'm gonna wrap those nitroed out. I'm gonna get some big buses. I'm gonna make some big parties. So we had like 40-foot, you know, inflatable cans, and he did that to all the concerts and whatnot. And he was passing this stuff out like crazy, man. You gotta spend money to make money in this world.
Yeah.
And he was able to like get it going, and you know, they drink a lot of Hennessy.
Yeah, they do,
Smoke
yeah.
a lot of
I
good
could see
ganja.
that going with this.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So you're smoking the good ganja and you're sipping on that good Hennessy
ganja.
and you're freaking on this nitro. You're on another level, boss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so basically that's what's going on with that. And so those were our two first originals. And then we came out with this in 2012, 13 in that flavor. And I tell you what, man, when we came out with that flavor, it was a lot of fun because that's when I was really banging, Ryan.
That's the tropical.
Yeah, the tropical. I was really banging hard back then. And that was going so good. Public loved it. In fact, it was the one drink that influenced Red Bull to have their first non-Red Bull flavor. So they had like, you know, they always had Red Bull and sugar-free Red Bull.
Oh yeah.
That was it.
Wait, you inspired them to
Dude.
change their
Dude,
flavor?
then they came out with the yellow can, the tropical can.
Oh wow.
And
So
then
they copied
Rockstar
it.
came out with an organic. No, I was pushing hard, getting it out there. My daughter ended up, you know, wanting to play softball. I'm going to do what I can for my family. She is now on her way to go play Division I softball on a scholarship at San Jose
Alright.
State. And so that's great. That was great. It was, you know, so I loved her that much to step away from the business just a little bit. And now I had to do some work on myself. And now we're doing a relaunch. And I'm really excited about that you know, that possibility coming up. And I think the public's going to like that. Yes.
All right. What about the, you said it's for athletes. Your
Yes.
daughter's an athlete also.
Yes.
But the older novice player, like I played tennis, I'm a former IFBB bodybuilder.
Oh,
Didn't make the pro, but,
really? So
I had
you,
my pro card.
oh, good. I mean, I inspire to be in the gym. I train hard to be with you guys. And then I'm not saying I'm going to get on stage, but I train like a competitor. And a lot of my friends they got their pro cards. Some don't due to politics in the IFBB pro. I know a judge on the panel who's one of my coaches, and he's an IFBB pro. So the bodybuilding scene really embraces this. I just done an event with the CrossFitters. They're just on a different level. Like they got their own stuff. They don't really they're not, I can't speak for all CrossFitters, but I did a big event and it just didn't seem like it was going well. But the bodybuilding scene really likes that. And I also have another product that the bodybuilders all love. I don't know, Ryan, you know about it.
Oh, what is it?
You know, that's my
I've seen these in Max Muscle a lot.
well, the Max Muscle that you see, the one that you see in the Max Muscles, I didn't bring the fuel for one, but
It's Fuel for Passion. It's a sex drink too. You may.
So this is Liquid Fusion. That's for you.
Wait,
And your boss, this is for you. This right here is fire, and this is for you.
Oh,
Now this,
thank you.
ladies, I wish it could work for you. If it did, I would be on another level of digits. But
It could
because
probably-
every man would buy
What
it for their
happens
women.
if they drink it?
You know what? It's a dilator, right? So, and if you're in the bodybuilding scene, you know, like a vasodilator, it's going to get blood
Sex.
flow going. And so, what it does for a man, obviously on the sexual side, but what it does for a bodybuilder, what it does for a guy when you go into the gym and you take one of these, and it's, I mean, the muscle bellies that you get out of it, like the full, like it will get you a pump that is unreal. And so when I plan on doing some pictures on updates and stuff, I throw that up there. And but that stuff is no joke. Max Muscle, big supporter. I have many of those stores, and I like putting it in those places only than rather the liquor stores, whatever, because I like it. I think it separates itself. I think you could go get all these knockoff stuff and everybody can try them, but there's nothing better in the world than this. And I stand by it, and that's been surviving. That's like a cockroach. It's never gonna die.
I've had my moments, and I've noticed you sell at the Roosevelt
Yes.
liquor store.
Yes, I need to get more over there. So that's so Ryan. This week we plan on bringing in a ton of product and starting the relaunch. I don't know if you noticed, Ryan. During my daughter's softball journey, and doing some family stuff and the stresses of life got to me, and
Yeah, I've
basically I
seen that,
gained,
yeah.
like, I was up to 320 pounds, and it was really bad health, and
Because you had some medical situations
oh
going
yeah,
on too.
well,
Yeah.
I've had 14 surgeries. I've battled 8 back surgeries.
Amazing
I've had
shit.
neck fusion. I got 2 plates, 8 screws in my neck. I broke both my arms at the same time, so both my radial heads, right? 3 knee surgeries. I mean, you name it, I've been through it, and I just decided to come back full bore. It took time to get the locomotive started, but I'm down 100 pounds, right? I'm down
Yeah,
100
your
pounds.
success story.
Yeah, so I'm down 100 pounds since I started my first day was August 31st in 2021, and here we are today.
August
August
31st.
31st of 2021
Wow,
was the day that I started.
I
yeah.
got ran over that same years and
I-
August 29th.
I remember that.
That was amazing.
No, and I remember
Wow,
that,
you're
and I
just
was trying to inspire
doing a
you
comeback
about,
story,
like,
yeah.
you know what, dude, you can come back, and you know what, it's funny because people struggle just with, having a sprained ankle in life, or maybe,
Yeah.
or a doctor says, you have this, you have this disability. I just want to give everybody out there to know this, that you don't get a hall pass. Like, either you live or you're gonna die. Like, you either choose to
Yeah.
go or you're not gonna be going. Like, you need to make a smart choice, and it's gonna be everything. There's a blueprint to this, and that'll lead me to my next one. It's basically you have to know how to eat. You have to know how to train smart. You got to understand rest. You got to get your sleep. And Nitro has stuff for that. And then basically, it's all about recovery and just being smart and just understanding how to do those daily deposits to get those great results. And people are like, can I do that? Sure, any human being can do that. All of us in this world can do, in this room, I want to say, can do the same thing. It's just a matter of getting it done. And,
Yeah.
that's why first I was asked to coach high school football for Cromwell High School. So I'm coaching varsity. I got 85 athletes over there, and with an incredible coaching staff and incredible young men and families. And basically, that led to me, like, wow, I'm inspiring all these kids. And then a lot of people are just inspired in general. So then I just launched Conti Fitness and Nutrition. So I'm really busy right now.
Yeah. Well, you always this.
You-
I mean, that must have
yeah.
taken a lot
So-
to maintain there.
So, well,
I got arms like Moki over here.
So
but-
check it out. Check it out. Like, when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
I just really got into the bodybuilding scene young. I went to Westmore High School in Daly City. I was with a lot of big boys. I played sports, and
Yeah.
those guys just all motivated each other, right? They were really, great influence on me, and those boys are still my guys to this day. We put a lot of time in the gym, and I think I have a picture up, and it was me at 17 years old, and you look at me right now, 52 years old. You put those side by side, and it's pretty remarkable. So the muscle that I developed, same with you, that muscle you develop, it's there. It's muscle memory. It comes back. So I had to get rid of all that fat, and I had to, just get that old muscle to come back. But the new muscle tissue is a little tougher to gain. But nothing's impossible. You just got to go.
What if we're just starting out now?
I think if you're just starting off now, I mean,
Can we
that's the
get-
best thing.
can we
You
get
can
there?
get, oh, absolutely, you can get there. I'm just working with my son right now. He's a fireman, father of twins, and you know, he's inspired by my story. He's an incredible athlete with an incredible body, but he's you know, he's getting back up there. But now I'm training him how to be smart. You know, how to don't go in the gym and ego lift. You don't have to go in there and lift the gym in the building and show your friends what you're benching. I don't even barbell bench anymore. I don't do a lot of those movements. I stay time under tension. I basically make sure that, you know, I chase the feels. I don't chase the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just, you know, I constantly try to, I chase the pump like Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, right? He loves the pump.
I seen his documentary.
Yeah, he's like, I love it. It's better than coming. It's, you know,
Really?
it's like,
Wait, he said
right?
that?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
could see
don't
that.
know. I don't know if it's the comparable, but I tell you what, it's pretty damn close when you get a great pump. But
Yeah,
and
I
it's
could
another,
see that, yeah.
yeah, and it really helps your mind, right?
But then you want the sex afterwards too, yeah.
Absolutely.
One of these for the workout, then
And-
get
and-
that pump, then one of these for the other pump.
and it's going to make it all better.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes everything better. You're in a better mood. You have better energy. You come off better to your significant other, right? And you know, that's the main thing. What it did for me was change my mind. So mind, body, soul. It wasn't so much I need to change my body. It was like
Well, yeah.
I had a lot of damage up here, man. I had a lot of depression, anxiety. I was down in the hole, man. I felt like I couldn't. The world got me, put up against the corner, and that's what I built the gym during COVID. My son and my daughter helped me build it out of rusty metal, and we converted the entire garage. Thanks to my wife, let me have that pass, and I just stayed in there, man. I stayed in there, and it wasn't for the physical part. It was like I need to dig deep, man. I need to dig deep on what I was doing in life. You know what I'm saying? Like my childhood stuff, the issues that I had, you know, with me as a young adult, my failures. I thought I was tough, but I wasn't really tough. So you
On the
needed to,
inside.
yeah, you really need to like come. Everybody needs to really kind of dive deep before you could build. And then I dove deep into what I really was struggling with, and then I could move forward, right? So, and I'm still dealing with those things, but with the gym, it helps me sustain. So if I have a bad week now, it sucks, man. That bad week is still going to happen. There's a lot of things that are shitty, and you can't control those shitty situations, but by you banging and putting your time into your gym or time into something that you love, then you're going to be able to feel that much better and maybe adjust and handle those shitty situations better and not curl up on a ball and want to get into bed and bury yourself and escape, where now you're able to like put your chest out like, fuck it, I
Yeah.
got this, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you-
you know what? Next, you know what? No, it's just a bad day. It's just a bad situation. It's a bad hour. I'll move on.
Well, you know, you could accomplish things once you see that pump.
Yeah.
That's what, I hit up that Planet Fitness every night.
Oh, good.
Is that I've been doing the treadmill though.
Okay.
Does it matter on the incline?
So no, I love
how's that
the
work?
incline. I love the incline treadmill. I'll tell you what, but you know, I'm a believer in this. I'm a believer in resistance training. You know, you're gonna have to put your body in some
Speed's
sort of
important.
resistance. And my treadmill comes in after I do my resistance, and that comes in right after. Why? Because when I'm on the floor lifting weight, my glycogen support is just kind of depleted, right?
Yeah.
Everything is depleted, it's gone. Now what's going to happen? Now I'm going to get on that treadmill and I'm going to get on an incline, and now I'm going to start burning all those fat stores. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to burn the fat stores, and now I'm out. And then I go home and I have that post-workout, something sugary, and I get it, and I just feel the glycogen again. That muscle fills up. I have my other post-workout meal, maybe a half hour than that, and it's bam, it's clocked.
Yeah.
It is a science, and if you don't know the science, that's the frustrating part. But I have the blueprint, and now I'm able to provide it to people out there who looking for help. I can map out.
Well, the cool thing about working out is you can eat. I mean, is if I don't work out, which doesn't happen often enough, I start feeling bad, and I feel like, oh, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. But if I get done working out, man, I could have that pie.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Ice cream too. I gotta have ice cream.
well, I mean, you can. I mean, but it's gonna put you like on a hamster on a wheel type of thing.
Oh, like
You-
it's
you know what I
like
mean?
it's pointless.
Yeah, well, no, you're getting the enjoyment out of it, and I think everybody needs to enjoy life. I mean, I'm on another level of discipline, right? So I have different goals. I'm kind of like that, like I definitely want to see me get to another level. So I'm focused on that. I'm not gonna have that pie and that cakes very often. I will have cake on my birthday. Next month's my
Yeah.
birthday. I'm turning 53.
Wait,
I'm gonna
mine
celebrate.
too.
I know we have the same level.
Wow.
We're Aries, man. We're all about that. And
420.
yeah, I love. Oh, you're 420.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a celebration!
420.
What a celebration! And so that's the whole deal, man. Like you can. So the guys that are like you, I would put you on a flexible dieting plan where you can track all your food and track your pie and fit that into your macros, so then you can be under control and you're not lost. Like, okay, you're not going to be doing these crazy fluctuations, right? And so that's the main thing. And then the other great thing is when you go to the doctor and get your blood work done and you start doing your checkups, you're like, oh my God,
should do
what are
that.
you doing?
Yeah.
Because you know what? I had high cholesterol, fatty liver disease.
I heard I do
You
too.
name every bad thing I was terrible. And during all those surgeries, you name the pain medication. You just got seriously injured.
Yeah.
Man.
I had a lot of
talk
them.
about opioids and
You got to
Vicodin,
get off.
Percocet.
Them, though. I mean,
I put myself. Nobody was going to put me off. The doctors were going to just here's your scripts. But
yeah,
I
I
was
got one refill. And I was like, this feels too
and
good.
the thing is, like, no, man. And that old Joe came out. That young kid with that passion, that sense, just the sense of just like I this is not right. I need to do something that's gonna. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be here for my kids and my grandkids. That I needed to change, and that was the first thing that I changed. And that was actually back in 2005 when my daughter was born. She gave me purpose to just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's got to be different when you have kids. Yeah, because you
Ooh,
got to
man.
get up and go.
Dude, you can't.
I could be on the couch a little longer if I want.
It's so nice to be comfortable, right?
Well, I mean,
mean,
sports
you-
gotten so
yeah,
crazy
I like
that
But
that even as a not having kids life, you're still like, dang, how come I'm not rich? I mean, because they say if you don't have kids, you're supposed to be rich, right? Like, what?
no,
Because people always tell me, you don't have kids, you must have a lot of money.
I look at value as this, man. I just like I don't have fancy cars. My house is moderate. But what I love, me being rich, is building up others, man. It's like building people
Rich
up.
in
It's
life.
It's rich
Yeah.
in life. Like me coaching kids, me building up other people, me giving people hope and giving back. That to me, that's my calling. So my calling is give back, right? Give back. I'm the platform. Okay, people paying attention to me, what I'm doing, but at that same note, you just keep giving to these people and keep loving everybody around you. And then you're gonna have that great peace. And then you're a rich man.
You think the things you've been through in life helped you realize your simple blessings?
Absolutely. Because I've grown so much in this last 18 months that it was a trip. And it's funny because you're depressed, you have anxiety when all you want to do is talk about yourself and talk about me and your own winnings. And it's like, why do you do that?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
Because you're struggling.
struggle.
And
Not all struggle is bad. Sometimes it's life lessons.
if you gotta fail, you fail forward. That's the whole thing. Failure is such a blessing, but people don't look at it as a blessing. Look, I failed at Nitro, right? I've been doing this since 2011. I've made it all the way going great, and then I failed again. But am I gonna let that stop me? No, man.
You gotta
Like
keep going.
No, you just okay. Guess what? I'm going to do things, and I have a different plan because I learned from my failures. But I'm going to go back out there and give it my best shot. And yes, I got to compete with big money people. But who cares? If that's going to scare me, then, I don't know. Like, people are always trying to tell me I should be out. Why are you still in business? What are you doing? Get out of it. Move. And my whole thing is, I just don't like to quit, man. I don't want to quit. I don't want to be a quitter.
We should try some of these.
Yeah, absolutely. I want you guys all right now.
With the
This is a
pet friendly.
Yeah,
I
well,
saw that
this
pet
is a water that we just came out with, and this is a recovery for me. So this is a CBD water. It's nano amplified, so that CBD molecule is completely broken down, and we have
No THC though. Huh?
no THC, just CBD, and it's a 9.0 pH with electrolytes. So after your workout and you're struggling a little bit, the one thing that we get depleted in the gym is always electrolytes. So I always tell people that are sweating a lot in general throughout the day, just don't cut out salt out of your food. I use Himalayan pink salt with everything. So basically, just go ahead and make sure you have your sodium in there, so you constantly are, you have that. This is going to take care of that. This is great. A lot of my MMA guys, because I have a lot of MMA fighters and people that are out there. Shout out to my boy Leandro at Redwood City Gracie's gym. He's a big supporter of this, and all his fighters love it.
Which one would you like, Mokai? Which one? Anyone pique your
Yeah,
interest there?
That water
This
looks
is-
good.
You want to try the water?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I thought you meant real water. I was like,
No, no,
I was like, oh, okay.
This,
No,
this
then
is good.
I
I
just wanted to.
throw one.
You know, as you were mentioning Jamaica,
Ooh.
you know, I spent a lot of time in Jamaica. They actually have a Guinness brewery in
Okay.
Jamaica, because they used to be a colony of Britain, so they have their own Guinness brewery.
You're drinking the water. What,
And
what
then-
do you think?
That's awesome.
You know, I spent a lot of time in the hills in Jamaica with the Rastas,
Oh, did you?
and they have their
jealous.
own homemade energy drink. They call it a roots potion.
Yes.
And they have
Yes.
a root called the Cheney root.
Yep.
And I went out in the
Cheney.
jungle with those guys trying to find it, and it's hard to find and it's rare, so they can't commercialize it. It just grows naturally in the jungle. And then they make they boil it down, they put all these other tonifying herbs in it,
Yep.
and they have this potion that they make, and then you can find the Rastas, you can buy a bottle.
Oh, how cool is that?
And there was a guy here in San Francisco called Prince Neville. For years, he was selling it on Divisadero. He had a little boutique, and he had that restaurant, Prince Neville's, on right off Divisadero. And I could go there and I could get the Jamaican roots potion from
Nice.
him. So, and that would also, they would say, yeah, it's like your other shot there. They would go like, make the root hard, man.
Yeah. Oh, and they love
There's
that
another
stuff.
Jamaican shop in Oakland on 40th and Telegraph.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was.
okay.
Yeah, you can get some of the
I mean,
sweetbreads
I'm
and
gonna be
things.
looking to that's the fun part is, going and finding those spots and finding those supporters. I'm gonna be a big
He's
spot.
down in it.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
This is good. There's no aftertaste, buddy.
right?
'Cause,
Nothing.
I used to love Monster, but Monster had a little bit of a bite.
All those taste like energy drinks, period. And somebody, no diss on Jerry Rice, but one of my customers for a long time, he's out there and he's noticed that a lot of my accounts dried up through the years. And he's like, Joe, what is going on? He just texts me on Instagram. And he's like, I'm drinking this stuff and, it's no nitro. Like, you need to get this stuff out there.
Honest opinion, yeah.
Yeah, and so you know what? The product is great, and that's why I'm big on what I stand behind. Because if not, it's kind of weird, right? Like if you're gonna be this person who's very passionate and do a lot of cool stuff, my product better be lights out, and I feel like we do have lights out.
Well,
Product.
yeah,
I feel good
I've
about
tried his product, and definitely if we're drinking this, comparing out. I mean, well, in general, I do think
the thing with
this is flavorful and it's thirst quenching.
right?
And I tried his product, so many flavors with the Jerry Rice product, but they're flat.
What they just and the one thing that I had somebody tell me this, and they said this, it's like your energy drink, you can eat it with food. So like I was like,
Yeah.
the majority of those energy drinks you just can't have a sandwich, you can't. I'd be at the deli, it's like, oh, this doesn't go well. That it's gonna give you your energy, and you're not gonna feel that crash after, which is great.
Yeah, it
So-
tastes like what it says it tastes like.
Good.
And that what you don't usually get from
Yes.
other drinks and stuff. Sorry, Luke, I didn't mean to jump in the show, but
Check
this-
out which
this
one
is
you're
actually-
drinking.
This is really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I've given up energy drinks because I have high blood pressure,
Yes.
and I don't feel any effect. Because usually, if I drink one right away, I feel it.
Well, I'll tell you what, boss. That liquid fusion that I gave you, you just, like a lot of guys go into Max Muscles and they'll buy that. Well, you if you dose that in thirds, a little bit, that'll help lower your blood pressure.
So, I noticed this.
That's a bodybuilding secret, and that's basically it. So,
So, how I noticed this on a lot of drinks.
uh-huh.
So just for the people that also see it on a lot of drinks, how real is that with when you see vitamin B?
Oh, it is real.
Yeah,
And you know
and I
what's
see
real?
B5 and B3 on
The
this
real
one.
thing is all those vitamins are getting so freaking outrageously expensive. I don't know what happened during the
Regulatory.
pandemic, but everything's a charge, right? The plastic bottles went up, the aluminum cans are going up, the ingredients are going up. Like it is so ridiculous that like we had, that the whole thing is pricing is going up. So a small company like us, man, it's so hard to stay in the game because you gotta stay afloat with everybody. But yeah, but that's also what separates us from the other guys because, most of these places, there's only so many these manufacturers of these energy drinks, right? You go in the country, there's a few. A lot of them have a proprietary blend, like you got this one blend, and that's the blend. Well, we had to go away from that. We want to make it our own, and so that's going to be a little bit pricey. You got to really invest in that product. We're totally happy. We love the product. I didn't bring my low carb version of the tropical today. I'm sorry. I just missed on that, but we have a low carb version of that.
Well, if someone's worried, there's the original one,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
low carb. Guess
Yeah.
you're not working out so much this week.
Yeah.
Right, like,
Who's not working?
I'm saying in case
Yeah,
someone here's
yeah,
not
yeah.
working out so
Yeah,
much, they
no,
might
for
want
sure.
low carb.
Yeah, but
'Cause,
but whatever you enjoy.
Because I know if you're working out, carbs are good. Get that
But
pasta
this
and rice going.
this right here, I mean, the other thing about this drink that I loved when I first started was I was in a lot of bars and nightclubs. That's when Red Bulls really started coming out. They were not happy that I was in their bars and nightclubs. You remember, Luke?
They're the
and I
one
was-
competitor
Oh
with
my
that.
God, they
Yeah.
would chase me down the El Camino. I was in the office, Carlos Club, this, that. I was shutting down clubs in San Jose. We were putting in entertainment, man. I've had Too Short at my parties and E40. We've had all kinds of crazy entertainment, upcoming artists and stuff like that. And you know what I love what I do is I don't just have an avenue for the drink. I try to, again, I was doing this back then, was I cross promote everybody else who supports the drink. So if you are an upcoming artist, or if you're an athlete, or you're like, I will take your support me, then I'm going to promote you. So a lot of times at that point, are you a promoter or what are you doing?
We got
And
a
I'm like,
musician right here.
well, there we go. You know what I mean? Like,
Alright.
so yeah, that's great. So like, like for me to put a
covered
logo
the
on
basics
your
with the
flyer
rappers,
and
yeah.
help promote. So I will be part of a pro boxing event that will be here at the Cow Palace in June. And so it's a second time
fighting?
around. Got a Vander Holyfield's son fighting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
yeah.
about that, I
So we
guess.
got him on deck, and it's going to be a good event, and that's exciting. I just met with the promoter, and he's going to get me on board, and we're going to do that whole thing, and so putting on an event like that, that's great. So then I get to go ahead and take those flyers, and every time I'm in San Francisco and I'm at some new stores, I go to my accounts and I pin up flyers and I let people know, and that's how you get going. And nobody else is going to do that for you. Red Bull, Rockstar, Monster, Bang, nobody's doing that because they just can't.
Oh yeah, bang, they're done for. Yeah.
Well, the product.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even want to. I'm not going to say anything publicly on this forum about that, but you know what? They're the red line guys.
Oh gosh, I tried
that
one
drink?
because I was
It's like
more of
crap.
when I
Yeah.
was drinking energy drinks more big time, I was more of a connoisseur, so I would drink.
I
everyone's
remember.
drink. Yeah,
Your opinion matters.
New
Your
thing.
opinion matters.
It's
You do
amazing
that a
that
lot.
my opinion. Wow.
Huh?
It's amazing that my opinion mattered. Yeah.
It did matter.
So I took a red line once and I passed out at Ceremony Mall. So I didn't have a meal.
Oh yeah.
I
Small
guess you have
stopping
to
town.
eat while or before you have it, and I didn't. So I was just walking, and all of a sudden I passed out on one of those couches and woke up there.
Right. Right.
They didn't think anyone. Well, I guess it's normal for someone to be snoring in a mall on a couch. I guess. But,
I spent a lot of time in that mall. I was 15 years old. I was a butcher, and I used to work at American Fish and Poultry in Ceremony Mall. Man, that was the best memories. 15, 16, 17 years old, 18 years old, walking around with a smock and rubber boots. And
butchers really get some respect back in the day.
yeah, I was Petrini's, Lenardi's. It was a good time. It was
Back
a good
in
time,
the day,
man.
yeah.
I've got
Ooh.
that skill set in the back of my pocket. It was a blessing to know. Like, you know,
It's so weird how times have changed. Like nowadays, my advice to kids, stay in the school, try and figure out what you want to do. Don't work in a supermarket anymore, because it's not the thing anymore. Back in the day, that was like one of the best jobs,
it was very secure.
and security was one of the best.
Right.
Now it's
you had
random jobs I can't
you had good
pronounce.
pay, and you also had good benefits, and you were able to support your family. You can't do that anymore. But you know what I tell people now? Okay, like everybody puts me with sports. I just say find your passion. Find something that you love, right? Find something that you love, whether it's music, it's art, it's something that you're passionate about, because that passion will propel you forward.
Yeah.
Something that's gonna get you up and get you motivated. Like this.
Exactly.
This is a calling for you.
that
like
takes a
this
little-
this is great. Like
Passions are hard, I guess, because you risk it, but you don't want to be stuck either. So it's like then you're in the balance. Like,
that's
what do I do?
where you have to have that control.
And then you
right?
might just get stuck there.
You don't want to be all that way, because I was all that way when I started. Boom, crash. So when I first started, I came into Nitro. All these opportunities came. Why? Because I rebuilt my body at that point back in 2011. I came from all the way back. I got myself not as probably as good as I am today, but I was able to launch that, and it was so much fun. And I got caught up into the fame, right? Of somebody gave me the nickname Joe Nitro. That brand.
That's you.
That's me now. And so
You got the big van. That's why
yeah, well,
you
yeah,
said
right.
Red Bull was trying to go up against you. You seen their tiny little cars
Yeah,
though?
No.
You can run those off the
Yeah,
road.
just wait till the next 5 years, man. It's gonna be fun.
They look
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
postal workers.
yeah.
I mean, you know how that's going. They're getting
Right.
robbed now. The postal workers.
I mean, that's sad.
No, it is sad.
It is sad.
It's is hilarious. I never thought I'd see a world like that. But
So Luke, let's get into
Huh?
some music.
oh yeah. So I actually got a request next door too for to play Mokai's
Let's
music.
do
You
it.
want to hear his music?
I want to hear it.
Hey, wait, we got to
Okay,
play
right
two.
on, let's go.
We got to play the two. You want to announce these two songs? The
Oh,
Mama's Got
yeah,
the Blues and Stone by Stone.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, this is some off of my latest CD, came out in 2019, and it's was recorded here in San Francisco. There was a place called Tiny Telephone, which is now gone. I think they're still in Oakland, and went in there with some of the greatest session musicians in the Bay Area, and worked on these tunes. And the first one is called "Mama's Got the Blues."
Yeah, I like that one. But the single mothers working
Yeah.
hard,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
and the mothers, because they got to work hard too. Like if my mom's mother was still alive, mamas would be working for a long time. It seems like moms got to work until their 90s these days.
Yeah, it's a tough world, man.
And then this.
Is that you there?
And so that's what the journey is about in this song. And but the Stone by Stone, what are we playing now?
Is the song playing?
Yeah, it's gonna be the second song. We're just gonna roll into it. What's the Stone by Stone about there?
So is the track playing now? Or?
Let's get into it.
Oh, okay. No, I just
I-
didn't know if you'd already hit go on the track or if we're on the air or what's going
It's
on.
this one right here. Here we go. That's it. That's it.
She's been a working girl since she was a teen. She's been a waitress and a sales girl. And everything in between. A couple of decades, she's got a couple of kids. Well, that's a lot of life. Whether or not you're somebody's wife. Oh, mama's got the blues. Been working all week on her feet, wearing out her shoes. Oh, mama's got the blues. She's got so much to juggle, it's a daily struggle. It's the truth, it's the truth. The boy came home with his tooth knocked out from a schoolyard fight. Her teenage daughter came home way too late last night. Her boss is riding her, he won't get off of her case. One of these days she's gonna lose it and tell him right to his face. Oh, mama's got the blues. She's been working all week on her feet. I said, oh, mama's got the blues. She's got so much to juggle, it's a daily struggle. Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth? She remembers when she was younger, didn't have a care, hanging with her friends, doing something new with her hair. It's been so long she can't recall the last time she had fun. It's so hard to relax when her working day is done. Oh, mama's got the blues. She's been working all week on her feet, wearing out her shoes. I said, oh, mama's got the blues. She's got so much to juggle, it's a daily struggle. The truth, the truth. I wonder about a society that don't take care of its own. It's a hard enough job to raise a child all alone. It don't help when they make it so hard to get the basic things you need. In such a wealthy country, blinded by greed. Oh, mama's got the blues. She's been working all week on her feet, wearing out her shoes. Oh, got the blues. She's got so much to juggle, it's a daily struggle. Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth? Stonewall said, someday I'll be just rubble. The wheat field said, soon I'll be nothing but stubble. The highway said I got to go, but I'm seeing double. The jaybird said we each have a piece of the puzzle. Rock by rock, stone on stone. Year on year, wheat has grown. Day by day, the land goes on. Drop by drop, rain cloud song. The country said, admit that I'm wrong. No, never. The celebrity said, pessimist said this is all a wasted endeavor. The weatherman said we're having very strange weather. Rock by rock, stone on stone. Year on year, wheat has grown. Day by day, the land goes on.
There.
We got to get the audio
Yeah.
back. That was a couple tracks off the CD. We were saying maybe the audio quality wasn't right going out there on the YouTubes, but so let me play a tune and we'll see if that sounds okay. So you know how everybody's when you're in a relationship, sometimes you want to try and get some attention from your lover.
Yes.
We all want somebody to pay attention to us. We all want to get a little attention, get a little juice, But nowadays you got a lot of competition getting attention from your lover. So this song is about that. It's about a guy trying to get his lover to pay attention to him. So.
Yes.
Whoa, baby, won't you put that cell phone down? Whoa, baby, won't you put that cell phone down? You stand at it, baby. You don't even notice I'm around. You call that thing a smartphone? To me it don't seem wise. The way you're staring at it, baby, bound to ruin your eyes. I said, whoa, baby, won't you put that cell phone down? You stand at it, baby, don't even notice I'm around. Whoa, baby, you used to treat me so nice. Whoa, baby, won't you? You know you used to treat me so nice. Well, now you only interact with your device. You're texting so much, baby. Gonna give yourself tendonitis. Are we gonna let this technology divide us? I said, whoa, baby, won't you put that cell phone down? You stand at it, baby. Don't even notice I'm around. Whoa, baby, won't you put that cell phone down? Whoa, baby, won't you put that cell phone down? You stand at it, baby. Don't even notice I'm in your service area.
Yeah.
I love these. Woo!
I felt like you were listening to your audience
I feel
too.
like
Like,
I'm in New Orleans at Jazz Fest or
like,
something. Like, I don't know who
whoa.
needs Buddy Guy when you got this guy.
Oh,
right here,
man,
you know
Buddy
what I mean?
Guy.
I felt
Right?
a
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's
Buddy Guy is
right on.
I felt
way beyond.
I felt a little attacked. We were recording you, but then we're paying attention to you. But then you said service center. It's
Your service area, yeah.
service area.
I'm
Yeah,
in
so
your service area,
so many
baby.
people are in my register line and they talk on the phone. Yeah. Hold on, this guy's talking to me. I'm like, well, I'm your cashier.
Yeah,
like just
right,
some
right.
guy. I'm paper. Paper
Let me
plastics.
take this
or-
call. Wait a minute. What are you
yeah,
doing right in the
like-
middle of a thing here?
Yeah.
It's an interesting establishment to be in, like, you know, working at a grocery store, meeting a lot of people, seeing them day to day. Though
It's scary. Yeah.
It's a trip. You know, it's a trip.
It's,
I met my wife at Lenardi's as a butcher. She came in there, and that's how we met. It was-
I met my wife at a tire shop on Trinity.
Oh, there you go. There we go. See? You know what I mean?
Hottest place.
Man. let's see.
That took me back to when I was a kid listening to Muddy Waters play or
Oh,
Hot
yeah.
in the living room. Like,
Great.
That's great. I mean,
Mhm.
you're in San Francisco, like, but we need to get you in the peninsula.
Oh,
You
cool.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's where I like to
that.
collaborate. Like, let's get, like, you know, before the pandemic, there was so much going on. There was so much cross promoting. People are a little bit hesitant to get out there, get back into socialization. I see it in even the gyms. But, you know, if we can get people out and about and socializing and loving each other instead of being so damn freaking paranoid with, you know, everything that's going on and you know, the whole pandemic was one thing, but, you know, getting into the elections and this and that,
Yeah.
it just turned our world upside down. So now there's a lot of jealous and hate going on, and you know, your music, man, you can unite people. You know what I'm saying? So like,
cool.
we need to get some of that. We need to get some of that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, music cures. Yeah, I know so many people. It's like if you just think a certain, or if you're cool with somebody, next thing you know, you're like so many bad things all of a sudden. Like, that's what the pandemic created. So many. I never knew there were so many people that are political all of a sudden.
Oh, it was terrible. It was
Like,
terrible.
all of a sudden.
Well,
it
and
was
they're
terrible.
also experts on virology and foreign policy.
How did people become experts on everything all of a sudden?
Everybody's an expert, man.
Everyone's got a stupid podcast. What the hell?
Yeah,
Jeez.
these damn podcasts.
Losers.
I think that's the big problem. It's all these podcasts.
So what y'all what do y'all think? Is Trump going to get arrested Tuesday?
They're just gonna. They're not gonna put him in jail or anything. They're just gonna say you got to come back and appear, and then he'll send a lawyer in his place or something.
What do you think? What do you think? You think he's going to get arrested? The reason I'm saying that is because it's what was in the news recently.
Well, he might have to physically show up somewhere,
Yeah.
but it's going to be behind closed doors,
Yeah.
and then he'll get to go home, and then they'll have the lawyers.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm just.
I'm kind of agreeing with Loki. I don't really think anything's going to really happen. You know, I honestly I just stay away from politics. I've decided to be just independent. I don't really vibe with either side, and he was a pretty terrible leader. But and that's just my opinion. There's a lot of people in my family who thought he was a great leader. And then what happened is it ruined families and friends. How many people are not talking to each other?
So you're gonna so from that you might, some people might be like, oh, he does it. And so the people that do instead of just that. So why do you think so?
I think he is not a bad business guy, and I think he does know how to lead. He's just so narcissist, and he's just the things that comes out of his mouth is like jaw opening, and I feel like it just led a bad example for the rest of the population, and then other people were just acting just as bad as he was, and to me that was really the downfall of what was going on in society, and that's where we see the damage. And I take a little pulse of what's going on social media and how people are, and I've got a pretty good following, and I see the way things are now, and people are just inverted now.
Yeah,
and
people are definitely, got a lot of. It used to be you voted for somebody, maybe you liked that candidate, but you didn't love them, or you weren't so devoted to them that you were going to want to fight somebody else about that they didn't like Jimmy Carter and you liked Jimmy Carter. You weren't going to get in a fist fight over that.
I think because what you were saying earlier, Moki. Moki. I was wondering when I was going to say that word throughout the show, because you made me think of Moki.
I mean mochi, the
mochi, the
ice cream.
I say mo. Yeah, I say mo. I say Moki. But yeah. So wait, yeah. For what you were saying earlier, Moki. You like to follow, not really follow, but you like to listen to people that have more facts, and they have more educated. It doesn't seem like that's what we're dealing with a lot in general these days.
Well, now you get to choose your facts. You get to choose what you think is a fact or not.
Alternative facts.
Yeah, the alternative facts. Back in my day, it was just alternative music. Now it's alternative facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, in August we're going for elections, isn't it? This August?
No, but all of that is pretty much out of our hands, anyways. You see the generation that's coming in right now, like my kid's generation. She's 17 years old, and these kids are like, they already know everything, like a lot, and they do everything with extreme shortcuts, and they're they're an interesting group. I thought my son's generation was interesting. I think they're decent, but this generation coming in are very interesting as well, and they definitely have a swagger unlike my generation for sure. Like they and I coach a lot of kids, but they're in the know, so it's going to be interesting how they take this torch and how they move forward, and I just hope that they paid attention to history, and we're not going to repeat some of our mistakes, because that's I just feel like just spread love. That's why I'll just say that again and again and again publicly.
Yeah.
Like, let's love, not hate. Let's love our neighbors, like I said, build people up, and try to unite and get over it, and check your ego out the door every time you step into a house. Because I just feel like that's the damage that we have, and it's all because of this stupid phone, like your song.
Well, it's kind of.
You know what I mean? It's like because everybody's.
It's kind of stupid because it's like, I can't hate on social media like everyone else, because it's weird how everyone on Facebook, F Mark Zuckerberg, and they say it on Instagram too. They'll say it on the Twitter, but you're saying it on these social medias. I think people just have a problem with, so I think it's a great thing. It's a genius. Social media is a genius thing, and then all of a sudden it just became too much. It
Right.
just became too, everything once it becomes too much is a bad thing.
Because you took the common people out of it. You took the people out of it that was really intended to be in it. Now all you have are the influencers. All you have now are the people that are trying to make money, trying to be guys like us, trying to get out there, and we're all selling a product. We're all doing something. But you know what? We're not doing enough good behind that stance. And that's what I'm like, for me, if you read my posts and you see what I try to do, I only try to build up. And even though there's so many damn haters on my block that just love to, you know, whatever on my game, you know what? I can't hate you anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna stoop down to your level. And you know, I just feel like we have decisions and choices to make, and that's why I choose to go out there and help build the community. And I feel like that's what we got to just keep doing, man. Every time and you're in the community at the grocery store, like you can do that as well. You know what I mean? And because there's that lady that somebody coming into your store that had a really shitty day, that you can turn that person's life around just by you smiling and saying something positive.
Yeah, I wear my outfits and I try to be.
That's
you know,
awesome.
it's amazing that people always say, hey, "You're the happiest person here. You're always so happy." That's how I know I must have a lot of horrible coworkers, because I do. I mean, I just try to be positive because I got to make it through my day, but I'm not the happiest to be there. But I guess, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't want to make others feel bad, so I'm still like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
But then I gotta say it all day. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, have a nice day. You know, it's like,
And then when they treat you like shit, you're like, all right. Like, I mean, people can really treat people badly, especially in service places like
it's
that.
been
Like,
a
I
while
was like,
since I refused service.
Yeah.
But
people
yeah.
are like, psst, psst, hey you, hey come here, like, you know, talk down to you and like,
Hey,
you know, I'm like, all
do
right.
you people realize how little employees we have now? Come on. Yeah, you know, but yeah, there's a lot of happiness trying to be taken out, and that's the struggle. Because I wore my green outfit on St. Patrick's Day. It's a bear with a lucky charm thing.
Okay.
And they were cracking down on it. They wanted me to take it off. And I mean, the customers were cool with the company, wanted me to take it off. But I said, okay. And then they said, no, because I didn't really have anything underneath. I said, just don't wear it tomorrow. And I mean,
Okay.
that was actually my plan from the beginning for all my outfits, in case there comes that one day where they say take it off.
Right.
And I gotta say, you sure? But yeah, the fun in this world is being taken out, so it's up to people like us, right?
You just
Keep
you
it
just-
going,
you
but
just
not
gotta keep-
fight people about it. Just
No, man. You
celebrate
don't,
with.
You just don't. You got to celebrate little wins.
I think if it just takes people celebrating and seeing other people seeing you enjoy, that creates it catches. You
We
know?
need to clap for others more.
Yeah.
We need to
In
clap
fact,
for others more. We need to support other people when they're having success, instead of looking at their success and then starting to hate on them because they're jealous and it's inadequate. I've never met a hater who's above the person that they're hating, right? So the thing is that you just have that, and it's sad, and you know, especially like going on, you know, with kids sports. It's like, oh, man, I love all these kids. Like, you just keep supporting these kids and these families. But you know, I've seen both sides of that fence. And then what about businesses? I've launched Nitro in 2011, and I was
still going.
killing it. And where was all, like, a lot of my supporters were not there. The people that I thought that were going to be by my side were not there, and I didn't know how to handle it. Like, I took it personal. But you know what? You got to keep moving. And it's funny because not the people that you least expect to support you are going to be there for you, and they're the ones that are going to open doors for you. But if you keep doing the right thing and you keep loving on everybody else, eventually God will create a path, and He will definitely, more opportunities will open up for you. And you just can't close yourself off. So I think so many people get so down and depressed, and they just like, look at what happened to me, right? 320, I was completely defeated, and a lot of my opportunities were closing. As soon as I flipped the switch,
I like to tell people how much they saved and then clap
yes,
and congratulate them. Because, I mean, it might have been a simple thing. They didn't even, the great thing is they didn't even know. Like, they probably didn't even come with the expectations of, I'm going to save anything at all because things are so expensive. Now, I tell you, and I'm going to clap for you. Good job.
Good job.
yeah.
Which, you said you got some other songs.
Oh yeah,
for us
I
here.
got tons of
go.
songs. But
Yeah. it's-
what kind of thing do you want to hear?
Hey, what was that song you said you liked, Luke? The Messiah?
Wait, no, Holy Guacamole.
Holy
yeah.
Guacamole. Yeah, let me play that for you. So,
Oh, you do
you know, I started
requests.
playing guitar when I was a kid, and you know, I was listening to all those old recordings of the old blues artists. So that's where, like, that song I played, the cell phone song, that's from an old blues tune that was recorded like in the 20s. This guy Lonnie Johnson was one of the first African Americans to record, and so I took kind of his riff from his song and kind of adapted it to myself, and then I wrote those lyrics to it, because every blues you can write, you know, the blues is the blues. Anybody can write a lyrics to a blues.
Yeah.
So, and then I got into like the technique of the guitar and what they call finger style guitar and finger picking, and so this is like just a piece that I created, and I just took like a lot of different traditional guitar and modern guitar and
The
my own
finger
ideas
picking
and
is the
just
finger style, right?
yeah,
Where it
yeah,
was-
and just kind of made
Oh, okay.
made a little guitar piece out of it. So it's called Holy Guacamole.
I like this one. Get this one.
totally messed up the sending. Let me try one more time.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's one of the ones I told you I wasn't going to play because I didn't rehearse it beforehand. So I just kinda
we wouldn't
crashed
even
and burned
know.
on that.
That sounded good. Well, okay, we should get into a different one then.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
all
Let
right.
me redeem myself a little bit.
We got to
I'm
hear
not-
that voice too. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one I wrote, when I first came to California. I was came to visit a friend up in Humboldt, and I didn't know what was going on up there, but he was
Oh,
living way
yeah.
out in the hills. And one morning I woke up, and the whole sky is black with smoke. And that was my first experience with wildfires. This is back in the 80s. So my friend, another friend of ours at the time, lost his homestead to that wildfire. And I was like, whoa, you mean you guys living out in the hills and these fires can just come through and take out your whole scene? That's pretty amazing. So I wrote this song about that. And then it seemed like, every year it gets worse and worse. The wildfires get worse. So the song has remained relevant. There's a strange kind of haze over the sun. Somewhere something's burning. Fire's got me on the run. Well, there's things I should be doing, should have already done. Kinds of things that you shouldn't shun. Things I'll never do now. I've left them half begun. Oh, it's all gone up in smoke. Hold that fire line, someone. Wildfire burning, better run. Wildfire burning, turning the sky black. Wildfire burning, no turning it back. Wildfire burning, flames rolling high. Wildfire burning, don't ask why. Well, my life is raging out of control. One minute I'm living high, the next I'm living on the dole. I was blazing with passion to reach my goal. I was the white hot ember that coyote stole. The firestorm's advancing, it's taking its toll. Oh, my heart just keeps smoldering like an angry coal. Wildfire burning in my soul. Wildfire burning, turning the sky black. Wildfire burning, no turning it back. Wildfire burning, flames rolling high. Wildfire burning, don't ask why. Will a lightning strike in the middle of a drought? Uncertainty flames into doubt like a careless match that you didn't crush out. Well, if you're taking things for granted, then you never did without. Or somewhere through the smoke I hear somebody shout. Won't somebody tell me what's this all about? Wildfire burning, look out. Wildfire burning, turning the sky black. Wildfire burning, no turning it back. Wildfire burning, flames rolling high. Wildfire burning, don't you ask why? Why wildfire burning? Wildfire burning. Burning. Wildfire burning.
song gets you a little antsy, man. Like you wanna. It's kind of makes you
Crazy.
makes
Yeah, yeah,
you
and
want to
then
get up and
The
move or
oh, cool. Yeah,
jump
That's
on
a
walls. Or,
that's a 6/8 rhythm. That's a little
Yeah,
different
okay.
than 4/4. But you should hear the version on the album with the guys backing me
better
up, or
have-
some of the
yeah.
best guys in the business.
This is where we break it down. We get
Yeah. Yeah, and I recorded
one
that.
guy
that
that's been in bands and stuff, and
mhm.
see the one guy's talent because you played with. I seen you play with other people.
Yeah,
You have like a one guy you've been playing with.
yeah.
recently, is
This
that
guy
right?
that produced my last album is a guy named James Nash, and he's well known locally, and he'll play places like the Sweetwater up in Marin,
Yeah,
or
that's
the
a good
Freight and
place, yeah.
Salvage in Berkeley,
Okay.
and he tours nationally, and he's got a touring band, the Waybacks, and the bass player in that is Joe Kyle Jr. So those two are on my album, and James is a master guitar player, mandolin, slide,
Like the man.
electric, acoustic. So, and then he's a great vocalist. So he's singing backups, he's playing guitar, he's playing mandolin, he's doing all the engineering, and he's mixing it. So he's like a musical genius. So he made it sound like, you get that sound that could sound like it's on the radio.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
very great honor to work with him. Yeah.
I want to play something. What's the easiest instrument to start? I was always thinking ukulele.
Well,
But
ukulele's good because it's only
it's easier than
four,
guitar,
'cause
right?
it's only 4 strings,
Yeah.
and it's much lighter tension, so you're not having to learn to
Because I don't have much time. I got to
Yeah.
learn something
Yeah.
sooner. The world's
You
probably
can-
ending in 5 years. So-
Ukulele's a good
I
one.
gotta,
You should be able to learn ukulele
yeah, the
in a
world,
couple
the
of,
world's ending soon, so I got to.
And it's amazing. Some people who put their mind to it, they say, it might take one person 10 years to be decent on guitar. It might take somebody else a year, 6
Huh.
months, because they just really focused and really learned, the right steps, and the right.
And that was about that first. You said Humboldt County. I thought maybe it was pot farms going up in flames.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So there's about the fires. So I think before everyone's talking about Orange Man, you remember when the skies were orange? Remember?
Oh, that was great.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, that was great.
crazy,
There was a lot of
man.
stuff.
I was in Nevada, out in the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. It was the most beautiful, clear skies at night, and the moon and Mars, and it was amazing. And then we woke up, and there was this smoke just coming over the Sierras. It came all the way. We were
That
like
was so
six,
weird.
in the middle of Nevada. Came all the way over, and then we had to leave. And we drove through the smoke all day over the Sierras. By the time we got to Sacramento, you couldn't see. And then we got home, and we got home late, and we were in San Francisco. We woke up the next day, and I looked out. And I said, "Holy shit! Did we sorry for cursing on the air.
Oh, you could do that.
We can do that here." I said, "Fuck,"
There you
because
go.
it was
There you
like,
go.
I was like, "Is it dusk? Did we drove all night? Maybe we just slept until nighttime?" No, it was noon, and you couldn't see in our backyard. It was just like, it looked like it was the sun was
It's
setting.
like that Silent Hill.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
a
I
that
know,
was a
you know
scary
about
day,
that.
The
man.
video game.
Yeah, it was just
creepy.
I seen the movie. I ain't got time for video games these
Well,
days.
I don't do it either, but I remember.
But it's from a
they
video
made-
game,
they
yeah.
made a
Keep
video
bumping
game,
into this
they made
mic.
a movie.
Remakes.
My son is a fireman at Merced. He just got
Oh.
hired on and moved to Fresno with his family. And I tell you what, man, the stuff that he shows me and the fires that are going on, what he does on a day to day is, man,
Yeah,
hats
yeah,
off
yeah.
to those fire and all the first responders. I mean, they're just incredible what we have supporting us. Those are the true superheroes out there. You know what I mean? Those are the guys that are just really doing an amazing job and sacrificing their lives every time they're out there. So I know that I don't know if I could do that. Like that's a really tough deal.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
You gotta do
those
your time
fires,
too.
Fires are
Uh,
definitely.
You don't just become a firefighter right away.
No.
You gotta do your time, and then you gotta intern. Is
Oh,
that, or at least that's
it was-
because I tried to be one.
It was a grind for him.
And it's like
It was-
intern for free, but you get a place to stay. But still,
It's tough,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have like family history, right? So like these kids that are like maybe dad was a fireman or grandpa was a fireman or uncle, you know, you kind of have like maybe a path, but you know, my kid didn't have any of that, and he had to he did a lot of cool little his journey was great. His journey was great. He was a fireman at the Lucas Studios, you know,
Yeah. Right here, Marin.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was, you know,
Oh,
he was
yeah, yeah.
protecting all of that good Star
Oh,
Wars
wow.
stuff. That was kind
That's-
of cool.
You
'cause
don't
he's a
want
big-
that going up in flames.
No, you
Yeah,
don't. But it was
yeah.
really like he's like, I need more action. I just need more action. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
And then
So-
he found the action. Like he literally went down to Merced. It's that talk about like
Well, yeah.
that's a lot of action down there, and
Wow.
it's ongoing every day.
You know, and they don't
know,
always have all the resources. You know, now as a musician,
No.
you got a gig someplace else in the state. You got to check, like, what are the COVID numbers? Are there any fires nearby? Before you leave the house, you got to check and where you're going to land.
Right.
But my sister lived up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and I've been going to Big Basin for 30 years, and it's a beautiful redwood forest there. Nobody ever thought the redwood forest would burn like that, and that fire burnt Big Basin, and it's still not open. The state park is still not open 3 years later.
Wow.
And the fire came up the mountain, and CDF ran out of people, and they decided to try to protect Boulder Creek or protect Santa
Yes, I
Cruz,
remember.
and they left the people in the hills, and everyone evacuated, and the fire came up right to the ridge on the other side of the ridge from them,
Yeah.
and stopped at the edge of their property,
Yeah.
and didn't get their property. But they were, after that, they were like, we gotta, so it's nobody ever thought that the redwoods would burn like that. So it's just unusual conditions, climate change, hotter summers, drier summers,
Well,
less
I mean,
snow
you're-
in the
we're
winter,
gonna,
all
we're gonna
that
see
stuff.
more and more of that, and I think we definitely need more
Definitely
of these
fire.
first responders, right? We need more, like, look at this crazy weather right now.
I just
You know
don't
what I mean?
understand it,
And
though.
so we're seeing how this is gonna be. Now I'm like, okay, what's the summer gonna look like?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know. So fire.
I'm really hoping this year is going to be a little wetter, so things.
Fire's
can
probably a
regenerate.
little, yeah. So maybe that defeats the fire part of it with so
Yeah.
much
So
water.
water, yeah.
Because I don't know about fire. The fire thing is crazy, but the floods, I don't know. I just don't get it because we're in such an emergency. I never really been to these other states, but when I see on the news, Louisiana, Florida, they got some real emergencies going on with the floods and that kind of weather. So how the hell, like they got the hurricanes and all that, how are we not prepared? We're probably most stable when it comes to weather versus a lot of other
We weren't
places.
ready. Like,
How the heck
down-
aren't
down
we
in-
ready?
My kid down there, he had to do a rescue, and literally they're in boats and they're getting families out of their homes. This is a couple months ago, and like, were we ready for that? Not ready for that. But I mean, just fascinating stuff that's going on, and
Yeah.
we need to be ready for everything right now because this is unpredictable weather patterns. So
Yeah,
we don't
and I
know.
think related to what we were talking about earlier, like people need to unite and get together, and this whole thing anybody's talking about trying to have a civil war, kill other fellow Americans, that's just crazy talk. We got to be
No,
uniting. We got to
need-
be everybody.
We need to.
Everybody's
together.
at risk. You might have a multi-million-dollar home, but it's at risk of fire. And you see these people down in Pajaro, in Monterey, just that flooding down there. A lot of those people are really low-income, poor people, farm workers and stuff, and they just have no insurance, no backup. We just got to be willing to everybody pitch in and help each other, and we're all in this together.
Where's the
We're all in the same
neighborly,
boat.
yeah, the
Yeah,
neighborly
that-
help. Like there's a flood, your property, maybe slid, or you got some crazy damage, or a fence went down. Where's the neighborly help? Like, all right, let's pack together, let's help build this up together, right? There's none of that anymore. It's like your problem, the insurance,
Yeah,
this and that. And at
That's
one
the
point,
weird
it
thing.
was
yeah.
when I grew up in Daly City, it was a village, and my dad was one of those guys who would basically build. He was a garbage man from Italy, but he really talented as far as he can do everything from, remodeling a kitchen, bathroom, addition, build a home, retaining walls, all the stuff. Guys, my dad's incredible. And he was able to help the community and rebuild things together. And that's what we did. We came together, and then we had dinners, and we all watched each other's property. And it wasn't so much like, now I don't even know my neighbors' names.
I think so.
I don't know who my neighbors are.
There's two things I got from that. It seems like as the world's evolved, people don't mentally evolve when it comes to knowing what to do. It seems like they freak out more in the way of what do I do? Like they're less skilled in knowledge.
We
of knowing
don't
how
have
to
that
help.
skill set anymore. Well, I mean, you can learn from YouTube, but there's no hands-on anymore.
Yeah, and then you need that hands on because I'll be looking at the YouTube. Like I tried to put on my car headlight and it didn't work out when I looked on the YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you get
then
the wrong
when
video.
someone showed me the better way physically, I was like, oh wow. Because the Priuses are a little different. This was my. I gave the car to my mom. Now that was that. But also the other thing I noticed, being more to where people have been now since pandemic. It seems like people have been more politically minded. At least that's what I noticed. Where it's like, why doesn't the government do this? Why aren't our politicians help us?
Well, that's because
But these are I noticed they're inner city things. Like we're talking about the floods and all that. Well, why do those people go at them instead go? I mean, the only way we could help is us.
Well, that's the whole thing. This is why, Coach.
This is us.
This is the issue. Is we have a victim mentality,
Yeah.
and we are all, please save me, right? And we need to take. Nobody's gonna save you. Nobody's gonna help you. We got to help ourselves, right? And it starts in that, and that's why, I know that when I go and work with these young men, that I'm building them to be better people. Going out, it's not about football and X's and O's and just winning every ball game. Like, it's a greater purpose. And so you're trying to give these people these life skills, right? And so if we can do a better job of that will definitely change things. And it's going to take a few people around our communities to really buy in. And, it's not going to be magic, but we all have to do it together. And I just feel like we have a victim mentality, and that's what it is. Government save me. This is why everything's happening. It's this person's fault. It's the president's fault. It's healthcare's fault. It's this fault. I'm like, man, you wouldn't be in that position if you take care of your health. If you would take care of the things that you need to take care of, or do the house maintenance that you need to take care of. Start owning you. You owe you. Period.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
Yeah, you're pretty much just feeding into that game. Like,
that's a no-win. That's a no-win game.
We get one more song. Last song. Yeah, last song.
Sure.
Oof. One more song.
Well, we're doing all this talking right here.
Well, you're not gonna
I'm
resist,
trying
are
to
you?
think of which song to play, but I think which one?
Ooh,
Which one?
I don't know.
Which song do you think I should play?
Oh.
Feed the whales.
Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give you an exclusive. This is an unrecorded song. It's an unrecorded song, but it kind of like dovetails from what we've been talking about, because it's like, everybody's on the internet. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's doing a podcast. Everybody's trying to be an influencer or
sure.
tell
100%.
people what the whole thing. And I'm looking at the whole thing, and I'm a songwriter. I've been writing songs my whole life, and I write songs on themes. I try to give a point of view. I try to explain something, try to, maybe shine some light on something. And at this point, everything's just so goofy that I wrote this song called I Thought I Had Something to Say, But I Didn't. Okay. Yeah. Goes like
It's
this.
me a lot of times. Oh. Gotta hear this one.
It's on competition.
I look at the world that's twisted like twine, whose fate is opaque as a bottle of wine. I look at myself wondering in dismay, what can I do? What can I say? I wanted to give voice to my pain. I wanted to explain that it's not in vain. I wanted to tell it so all could comprehend. Without rationalizations, I'd have to defend or distill the meaning, the point of our existence. But the closer I looked, the less it made sense. Well, it all got blurry. The harder I'd squint, I thought I had something to say, but I didn't. I thought I'd write an expose, shine a light on the corruption, expose the profiteers and give them their comeuppance. Oh, I wanted to give the lie to the myth of austerity and synthesize our era for the sake of posterity. Well, publish a memoir that could stand the test of time, a warning message to those who come behind. I wanted to mine some gold from the lessons I've learned, provide a roadmap to replace the ones we burned. But when time came to put pen to paper, my mind went blank. I felt like an imposter. When the time came to write something worthy of print, I thought I had something to say, but I didn't. Oh, I could write a novel so achingly poetic, revelatory and cathartic, stirring and prophetic. I could compose a soliloquy so loquacious. Oh, silly me to be so audacious. Well, I could be a cultural hero for the ages, move over Plato on the top 10 list of sages. I could solve the unanswered questions, open everyone's eyes, reveal the secret to life and win the Nobel Prize. Well, I fired up my synapses. Results were intermittent. I thought I had something to say, but I didn't. The greatest ballad ever written remains unwritten. I thought I had something to say, but I didn't. Well, some will get my meaning, others just won't. You might have something to say, or maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Mike, that's a great.
We all want to say
ending.
something,
That
get
was
our
awesome.
our
That
word
was
out,
great.
right?
That was a great song choice.
Racing to feed the meters and nobody taking.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great song choice.
So-
Great song choice.
So this was What's Really Happening, and tune in next Monday at 4. I think Hens is going to be doing here. But it's just you?
Yes, I will be here.
Okay, yeah. And I'm never going to try to act like I know it all. Just gonna like vibe with the guests, and that's
Be curious.
Yeah.
man. Just be curious, and
but if I see it,
Just live.
that should be a fact. I saw it. That's a fact right there. If I see it.
Be aware.
But yeah, last words, socials, and all that stuff for
yeah,
you.
mokaimusic.com, MOKAI music.com, and there's a link there to the Bandcamp. And you can listen to my songs for free. You can download them there. You can send me money, and I'll send you a CD. Mokai.bandcamp.com, and the link's on my website, mokaimusic.com.
All right, Joe Conti,
Yeah.
or
Oh, well,
Nitro.
If you haven't followed me on IG, please do. Joe Nitro
Yeah, there you go.
at NIG, and then also follow me at Liquid Nitro Energy Drink on IG, and Conti Fitness and Nutrition is my new page, and you can follow me there as well. If you're looking for product, liquidnitroenergydrink.com. You can order your products there, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much
I'm
it.
gonna,
Yep.
I'm gonna test out some of that product you gave me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're really gonna like that, honey. That just came out, and I just had somebody who buys the Fuel for Passion, and he went and bought bought 1 box of the honey, and then he bought 2 of those other boxes, and then he just came back and
Okay,
bought
so-
5 more boxes of honey and returned the other ones.
Okay, so I'll see.
So yeah,
compare,
you might want you'll probably want to save my business card.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, we know to find it.
well,
We know
yeah.
where to find each other.
Well,
I did not have any more. Otherwise, I would have brought more of that. But I just didn't have it.
well, yeah, you can't share the passion with everybody. You got to.
I made sure I saved my last one for you, man.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's,
thanks.
that's God's honest truth.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna let you know how it is. Well, not in full. I'm gonna let you know how. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll let you know how
Say goodnight.
how it is for that moments, and then leave the rest of the details out, I guess.
Yes.
Good night, everybody. This is what's really happening. Sweet dreams. Hope you rest well. I dream about pickles lately. Maybe now I'll